What's going on, guys? Welcome to my new YouTube series that I'm calling the VoD Room. In this series, I'm going to be going over our team's Fortnite Ballistic Competitive gameplay, talking about the things they did well and the things they can improve on. Hopefully, they can implement into their strategy and maybe improve their performance in the future. All of these VODs are user submitted, so if you would like to get your team's VOD reviewed, get in contact with me on my socials and we'll see what we can do. The first team that we're reviewing is Movie Time. This was submitted to me by Skeletos, who's their IGL and a friend of mine, so thank you, Skeletos, for the submission. Now keep in mind, as we go through these VOD reviews, I'm going to be pausing a lot to talk, but I'm also going to have some visual aids for those visual learners. And lastly, since this is my first ever coaching VOD review on this channel, please let me know if you have any feedback on how I can improve this series moving forward. I'm starting with a more holistic, generalized overview and review of a VOD, but if you want me to get more nuanced, that is something I can do as well. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
So on this map, you said that you specifically wanted one over the other. Which one was it?
I think I said crack, but do your impulse thing. If you feel impulse.
This is already a good start. I mean, the team asked what Skeletos wanted and his vision for how they're going to approach this game, and that's a major challenging point for teams that are first starting out, is fully trusting your IGL, and it looks like Movie Time does, so that's a good start.
This is a good team.
This is a good team. I love these guys. I actually love these times.
Let's see how they approach this pistol round.
Wait, can we? No, wait. I have an idea. Can we take mid pressure? Can we all go mid? Can we mid pinch?
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. So a lot of times teams tend to play the pistol round pretty slow. The opposing team usually, like the team on offense, usually rushes really fast, and people play slow and try to work reactionary defense. In this particular instance, Skeletos is calling for aggression, which is interesting. That can catch a lot of teams off guard on the pistol round. Especially since they're going to be pushing mid, it's not really that much of a risk. If you don't meet anyone in the middle, you can just quick rotate to either A or B wherever they go. And if you do meet people in middle, you can fall back or, maybe duke it out. So we'll see how this goes.
Pause and check in. Pause and check in.
Over here.
It doesn't matter where you go from mid as long as you go mid.
That's fine.
Yeah, you guys are good on the right side. That's
I
perfect.
mean, that's not necessarily
we're
right.
gonna
You
take
want
space,
you
we're
want
gonna take space.
people that work in pairs at the very least, so you have some people to
I'll
trade
let
off you. But
Just take the space.
Oh, they're all here. Right here.
ooh, okay. So actually, we'll let this round play out, and then we'll talk about the thing that I already think they could improve on.
What?
That is interesting.
Charlie's dead. Mid on the boxes.
Okay, so
Oh, help your teammate. Help your teammate.
2v2, 1v1,
Uh-oh.
and they lose it. I mean, that happens. Okay, so first let's pull this up here. So they started with a mid aggression where they had 3 people halls and then 2 people coming from patio, which is great. I mean, you want to be able to pinch middle, especially if you get people coming this way, people coming check in, you're able to swing out. In this particular case, it was a straight middle play from the opposing team. Now, they have the people up here in hall, and the second they hear that, and they know that they can't swing, they should fall back into mid and take cross positions here. And then there's actually a wall here, and then, here, maybe some people in gate, and just take cross positions and duke it out there, because you know that you're gonna fight the enemy team there. Skeletos decides to stick around a little too long. He kind of throws a panic recon, which isn't going to provide a lot of benefit. I know why he did it is because he was probably going to die, and he didn't want it to go to waste, and at least give your team some information as they try to fight it. But if you recon that, unless you get every single person in the recon, this group of teammates can't really do anything because they know it's mid aggression. And there could be people coming from check-in. And so they can't really wide swing this to help the hall teammates because they could just get shot in the side. And then the people that were pushing hall from the opposing team can also just swing middle. And so they're kind of stuck in a position where they can't help these people. That's why they should just fall back and hold cross positions. I mean, it ended up going okay. They actually went down to a 1v1 at the very end. And sometimes you just lose that, especially on pistol round where it's, the pistol's kind of a gamble. Also, keep in mind, I'm recording this, and this gameplay is well after the Star Wars pistol update. So they're still using Ranger pistols in this. But Anyway, that's one thing they can improve on. At the end of the day, they ended up duking it out. Not necessarily a bad play, as long as they stuck together and tried, and unfortunately just didn't work out for them in that case. And like I said at the start, having some aggression early can kind of change the pacing of the game. It makes the opposing team realize that you're not afraid to actually push them, and they may need to play a little bit slower. So, not a bad start, just didn't work out for them in that case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. It was a
Okay, I don't
gamble, and we just they were better that
That
round.
is the right mindset. It was a gamble, and it just
Gumby, man.
Yes,
they
yes, yes.
lost.
I've been doing this
Happens.
shit in tens. Oh my god, it's such tech.
I'm watching. Let's see the game. We got the big
we
cold guard in
throw-
the chat.
We throw a
I do remember being in the chat for this game, but I do not remember
Mhm.
any of it. So
we
I'm-
scan
I might,
for
like,
pushing
as I see
fast,
things, might remember
target
that
their
the way
scan
certain things
player,
went,
and
but-
we just kill the rest of them. Only if we hear them though.
okay, so they're actually starting with aggression
quiet.
again
I'm
in
not
this
going up with
follow-up
you,
eco
Butch.
round. This was before gadgets were free, so the eco rounds are actually eco
Care for the A hit,
rounds.
guys. Care for A. Care for A.
Wait,
But can you get out?
I
Can you
think
get out?
bombs by me.
Can you get out? Butch?
Yeah,
Well, let's see how this plays out actually.
Mark, you're on set alone with.
They used recon
They're near,
already.
like, spawn. I don't know.
Yeah, one still spawn. One spawn. One spawn. He saw me. I'm leaving.
Okay, so Skeletos and Butch push greens. Great, love it. You're on an eco round. You want to get as much info early as you can so you can adapt and maybe convert it. But what's interesting is they see some people in the spawn, and Skeletos immediately turns around, asking Butch if he can get out. The thing is the teammate working in a pair, it is your job to be able to maybe cover for Butch so that he can get out. But so Skeletos running away is just not the way you want to approach that. Especially in a round where you are undergeared compared to your opponents. So that's the first thing. The second thing is Butch confirms that he can get out and he doesn't take any shots. But instead of going back greens with Skeletos, he decides to go check-in and actually makes it. And I mean, we haven't played out this whole round yet, but he's in check-in. I didn't hear any shots when he made it to check-in, which means the opposing team is not B. They're not middle. So they're either pushing A or they're sitting in their spawn. So this is information that they can use to actually maybe convert this round. They've taken a bunch of space, which is good. And I want to see how they end up playing this out. Because as of right now, it's looking like Skeletos is just going to run away, which I don't know if I agree with. You're essentially taking the space and then you're just giving it all back.
You're by yourself, Butch. You're literally so by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
They're playing slow because they know we're playing aggro.
Yeah.
We are.
I mean, it's only been one round, so it's hard for a
Well, we
team
were.
to
I mean,
assess that you're playing
what I meant,
aggressive.
sorry.
But
Impulse.
yeah.
I think they're going.
I'm playing CT.
B. Yeah,
I'm
they're
playing
going
CT.
B. They're going B.
okay, so the opposing team
I'm just trying to person.
was just sitting there spawn, and now they're going B. Let's see how they
That's
approach
both of their
this.
recons. They have no recons. They have no recons.
That's a great start.
I'm slow flanking.
Yo, can you clear patio, Mark?
Sure thing.
I just don't know if there's anyone.
Don't see any
Okay.
patio, no.
I'm reconning site.
Be good. They're working together, calming what he's expecting teammates to do, and they're able to
Reconning again?
clear
There's a guy.
certain areas so they can actually push out.
45.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. See, the thing is, so back to the map here. So if you've pushed up as a team, you know you have Butch here who's listening for information, and if you keep Skeletos here, maybe jump peeking this box. If you know that the opposing team is sitting in their spawn, you are able to get information early. So the reason why it was really rough for them in a pistol round in order to convert that is because Skeletos runs back and he's sitting back by their spawn. And even when, Mark is here clearing patio, by that time they've already taken the site. And it's really hard to retake a, B site or really any site when they're in a fully set up post plant and they have better guns than you and they have more utility than you. So by Skeletos jump peeking this box, If they start rushing him, he's able to give that information extremely early that they're coming. It allows the players to rotate over from A, and they to hold B site, giving them a better chance to convert the round. It's still not going to be easy, and it's very unlikely that they do. However, it gives them a better shot to actually convert it. So that's a little micro thing that they could have done better, but you know, that is what this is all about, is going over the things that you can do a little bit better that may help you convert these rounds and ultimately win games in the future.
Tragic.
Again, this is when eco
Okay,
rounds
they're
were
slowed
actually
down
eco
now.
rounds, so
I'm
it's
actually pretty cool with
much
this.
harder to convert them.
Okay.
But this is the first gun round. This is the one that matters.
That's fine. We'll take it.
Mines. I'm gonna put a mine in patio and.
Do you know the one where it's like what's it called?
I like
the
this.
patio mine where it's, like,
They're
above
very
the
good
edge, you
at
literally can't shoot
communication
it.
so far. You know, I mean, I know we're only 2 rounds in, but they're
I don't
talking
know
about
what
what
to call it, but
gadgets
you
they're
know what I mean,
using,
though.
how they want to approach situations. You know, Skeletos is asking people to clear certain things. So their comms so far are very good, which is usually
Can you save
a
your
rough
second?
point for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Like slow.
Impulse
That
stay?
sounds like an impulse A.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pyramid.
I'm going with these collectors.
I'm gonna get off.
Care for the J cracky lurk.
That's good. They hear something A and they have a kind of rotator come over to assist.
Wait, can we have someone holding patio?
But they're not biting on it.
80 on them.
I'm
Pause.
watching patio.
1A.
Smoked off link. Can you get out? Can you
One
get
on
out?
A.
Get out, get out, get out.
I'm out. I'm already out.
One's
Okay.
near to check.
Good. They're talking back. Mark confirming that he's already out. They got the pick.
Yeah, beam
Be
in,
long.
beam in. Two beam in. One more beam in.
Big corner.
Wait, Nikki died there. I want to hear if she...
It's just man.
Can you get out? Can you get out? Get out, get out, get out.
I'm out. I'm already out.
One's
Okay.
near to check.
Oh, 80.
Where is it?
What was that?
It's just man. He's at 80. Yeah, beam
Be
in,
long.
beam in.
Okay.
Two beam in. One more
I
beam in.
mean,
Corner. Leave mid.
comms go out where Nikki died from. That's good.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
I'm with you, Butch. I'm with you, Butch.
Mid.
I'm going to stop talking till the rounds are over because I actually want to hear what they say.
One more beam in.
Big corner. Leave mid.
I
I
got
got
a bug for retake. We should kill this guy mid though. Oh,
Nice.
nice.
I'm with you, Butch. I'm with you, Butch.
mid. Don't peek.
Good.
Let him peek.
Don't peek, guys. Last one.
I'm holding.
Do we have
this
bomb?
angle.
Yeah.
Wait.
Just put it mine close. Put it mine close.
Do you know if I can get over this wall?
You can't.
4v1 in 15 seconds. It kind of seems like a formality at this point.
Doesn't even
But
have
Oh, yeah, you're right.
all right, nicely done. So a few things I wanted to cover, and I just kept talking. I was just yapping as they were, calming, and I wanted to hear what they had to say. So again, I was just talking about their comms, and I think this more or less confirms that their comms are really good. So Butch, as they're after Nikki dies, they give the comm on how much damage is done where Nikki died, and then Butch has the info that he has one bub and he's gonna try to use it for retake. He says let's push these people gate first or check in whatever. Skeletos confirms that he's with Butch and they swing it together. Their plan was to take B with the bubble, but HBT ended up getting 2 kills and just kind of opening up the site, and ended up being a 4v1 really quick. So their comms are really good. This round was really well executed. There's still 4 people alive. They convert a very important round, and props.
Who's going throwing mines like that?
I don't know.
Alright, defense. That was the first real round, basically.
Pretty much.
That was the first real round.
Alright. Let's keep their money humble, yeah? Win this one too.
My money's looking pretty humble.
Yeah. Yeah, if they go A, sorry. If they go A, and we can take mid space, H, I want you impulsing over the wall lobby into short. Can you do that?
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like this is something they probably talked about beforehand, or at least I hope they talked about beforehand, but talking about a site retake. So it's interesting that he brings this up before they even take A. It's because he's expecting them at some point in the near future to push A because they've been stuffed on middle and B. So he was saying that he wants their impulse player, HBT, to impulse over A short. That's great. As long as your setup is good. So he wants them to impulse over A short, and that means you need, if you really want to optimize your retake, which you always can't because you may not always have 5 people alive. It depends a lot also on your A players. So if they take A, and HBT, I believe, is their B player, so he's able to rotate through mid. So if the opposing team takes A, HBT and 2 people should be pushing through mid. The A player should be playing back palms over by the spawn, just making sure that people don't push flats. And those people should be going through mid to help HBT get to the short wall so he can impulse over. Now, the 2 people should then push behind, so you have 2 people here, and you're able to just kind of pinch. Even if they have a good post plant, it's really hard to hold this, because usually there's someone, you know, holding the flank, just one person. They might have 2 people step up, another person short, maybe another person flats, depending on how if they have time to get a post plant set up. And so by having these people short and then having people step up, you impulse over the wall, and it draws people's attention. So these people coming in from flank can then shoot the people that are probably holding flank because they have now turned their attention on the impulse player. People who are pushing palms can now look towards sight because they're probably focused on the impulse player. And allows them, even just having the impulse player going over the wall, even if they don't get any kills, it allows these people to take space and set up to convert. So it's interesting that they're already talking about the A plan because Skeletos probably believes that an A rush is imminent. So let's see what happens.
3 hits on A. They're going A.
Nice.
Okay.
Can you guys start taking mid space?
And sure enough,
Mi-
Mark calls 3
Yeah,
hits
yeah.
on A with his
I'm gonna
nades.
come to you, Skeletos.
Good damage already.
They smoked me off fully.
Yeah,
They
we
have
can
A.
just bub through this. We can bub through this. When you scan Skeletos, I'm bubbing through and getting kills.
Okay, so Skeletos helps them take mid. That's
I follow
good.
my bubs when I,
You guys
Yeah,
ready?
got
You guys ready to go
Um,
in?
The impulse?
Recording
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Recording now?
Okay, that's actually
Recon 1,
probably a
Recon 2,
better
clear
way to
cutty,
do it
clear
here.
cutty. Clear the pocket.
The 40 white. Flat. Flat.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a mop up.
He's pretty low.
Yeah, so
Good fucking.
a little bit different setup they had there because Skeletos was throwing his recons, which is fine. It puts your flanker in an odd position because if someone is actually holding flank, they're just dead, most likely. And then all of the attack is coming from palms, which can be kind of rough. But, I mean, they did it this way so that they could have the recons set up for A, which gave them all the information that they needed, and they were able to just wipe it up incredibly quickly. And, I mean, it was a fantastic retake. And their comms were pretty on point, too. Butch, at one point, was telling Mark, I have a bubble. We can, take this to push forward. And so the pairs were communicating, and, they helped clear middle, so HBT had his time to go over wall. So very well executed.
Okay.
Perfect.
Tippy tap, you go. Thank you for the follow.
See, they just look so lost when we do that.
Yeah, I mean, you get double
They do
scans
that
on
more
people.
than
Was it
they do
good?
shit.
Was it good?
That was great.
It's so fucking
That was so fucking great.
You have to say tough or it doesn't count.
It was so fucking tough.
Fuck
Oh my
yeah,
God.
bitch.
H
They
impulsed
seem to have
over
good
the
vibes.
wall, and I killed the 2 step up because they were looking sight at H.
Sacre
Wait.
bleu.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
H impulsed over the wall, and I killed the 2 step up because they were looking sight at H.
Yep.
Sacre bleu.
See, that is
Okay,
a
good.
perfect way to set
Sigma.
that retake up. So HBT goes over the wall with the impulse. They're all looking.
They
Nikki
don't
comes
have
from
buttons
behind and
for
wipes them
what
up.
to do about
So
that.
Mhm.
They're just
without even
stuck.
having that second person on flank, they ended up
I heard it impulse. I
cleaning
think
up,
that was
which
me.
is
Speed.
great. And they seem to have great
Careful,
vibes.
I'm
So
flashing.
this would be like a fun team to play
I'm
on.
early
They
recunning.
scan stuff. That's not gonna hit me. They don't
I'm so dead.
I smoked the Oh fuck! What did it hit, bro?
I
They hurt. They counter recon.
Impulse player hit for 80.
I'm minting.
The last one is hit for
Heady,
80.
heady, heady, he's
Head
heady.
I
glitch.
need to reload. I'm reloading.
He's boxes now, boxes. He's stuck boxes. Play together. Look good fucking shit, Nicky.
I want to hear.
Heady, heady.
I
They're hurt.
I also kind of trolled. I like ran where I could get shot while I was scared.
Yeah, I
Wait,
Reload. I'm reloading.
sorry.
I'm so dead.
I smoked the oh fuck. What I think that
I
was
skipped
me.
ahead too much, so I'm
Care patio,
cutting
care patio.
here and I'm bringing it back.
I'm early reconning.
That's not
So
gonna hit.
HPT's on
I'm so
site.
dead.
I smoked the oh fuck. What did it hit, bro? They're hurt. They counter recon.
Oh,
Impulse
okay.
player hit for 80.
I'm minting.
The last one is hit for
Heady,
80.
heady, heady, he's
Head
heady.
I
glitch.
need to reload. I'm reloading.
He's boxes now, boxes. He's stuck boxes. Play together. Look good fucking shit, Nicky.
Okay, so the reason I went back was I wanted to see where HPT was on site. So HPT was at boxes and then impulsed over to pond. So in an ideal world, I would think if you're doing a full-on retake, HPT impulses back towards patio, the team smokes, throws their recons, and takes the site together. However, in this instance, HPT impulsed over to pond, and they weren't quite sure what to do, and they ended up fighting long enough for the rest of the team to get there. Skeletos threw some scans, and they pushed and ended up getting the kills. This is one of those. It's not necessarily a bad play with how it worked out. I mean, everything ended up working out for them, despite a few things that they could have done better. So it's kind of hard to critique. But against other teams that know that HBT is on site, they hear the impulse, they kill him quickly, and they're already set up on head glitches. I mean, maybe save the recons. I don't think Skeletos was throwing the recon to try to give HPT information. I think he was just trying to slow down their push, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but he threw both recons. If HPT goes down early and they're able to hold movie time in patio on ramp, all of a sudden not having your recons is really going to hurt on the retake. But they were able to get enough damage, enough kills, enough confusion that it ended up working out. So again, just minor things that could maybe be improved against different competition.
Belly good.
But they go up.
Very cheap. 1 pound dish.
Should have got another one there.
You're.
He scanned you guys, and I was just in the corner on top.
Yeah, I inted. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good.
I also kind of trolled.
I mean, they're talking about how they could improve the round that they just played,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, sometimes you don't want
Not
that
get a good shot on me.
because you need to get comms out on what your strategy is for the
Okay,
next
I'm
round. But on
kinda
defense, you have a little bit more
Expecting
time.
a mid hit. I'm not gonna
And
lie.
they're already talking about they know how they can improve, which is really good.
Check in.
There's a smoke.
I think it's a beast right here.
Maybe one and greens as well.
They're
Yeah.
just inting.
Maybe. Yeah.
They counter
greens.
recon. They counter recon. I'm smoking again.
Okay. I was gonna let the round play out, but I think that's an isolated incident. So Skeletos is expecting a mid hit. So he swings mid by himself, which is already, I mean, there was someone patio there to trade him, but the way the mid is set up, kind of sketch. He throws a smoke, and then this is the part that I'm not super thrilled with. He throws a recon that ends up being okay because he converts a kill. However, it is a really high risk, low reward type of recon where it worked out in this instance, but if you don't get that kill, you've done nothing. You've wasted a recon, which is a very valuable gadget. And even if you know that there's people there, like what's your team could maybe take space in other parts of the map, but you're not stopping a rush or anything. You're not getting info on where they're going. There's still a minute and 30 seconds left in the round. So again, it worked out, but recons are so valuable. You always want to hold them if you can. And even if that person pushes through that smoke, you have yourself and the person patio there to trade anyway. So it's just not worth throwing. But in this particular case, it works out.
80 on one in pond.
Marcus
on
a flank,
orange
Marcus a
box. Pond, orange box. Close. Almost head glitch.
Bomb's down here.
Right here.
Good shit.
There's one main.
One main,
Last
last one's
one.
main. Leave, leave,
Last
leave.
one.
Ignore the main guy. Let's go bomb. Let's go bomb.
That's good. I like the call to go bomb.
Is he an idiot?
Wait,
I just-
Nikki, leave, leave, leave.
Where is he?
He's main.
He's main on site
He's on
now.
the
On site.
orange
Just leave.
box.
Just leave. You have to come to us.
Y'all win this. This
Yo,
shit
Mark.
sucks.
As soon as he swings, can you play behind the box? Where you're at? Can you play behind the box in front of you to your left?
Yeah.
Swing up my contact, okay? Nikki, can you watch your flank?
There's 2 mines on it, but yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine then. That's fine. Just swing up my contact.
Yes.
He's hitting those mines.
I like this. He's micromanaging how the team plays, which is a sign of an IGL that is a sign of a good IGL. They're able to kind of mid round talk about what they want and how they want their team to play. And in this particular case, he's asking Mark to look B main. He's kind of acting as a midpoint. He's asking Nikki to watch the flank, and they have 2 mines in the flank. So no matter what, they should be able to have a team crossfire wherever he comes from.
Back off.
Oh, he
And
didn't
looks like
move
he's
at all.
coming from patio.
He's flanked by there.
Scan's not bad to use there. And they double swing.
Nice,
That's
good
perfect. That
fucking
is the
shit.
perfect way to approach that
Oh my God,
situation.
these comms are
I hate
gonna-
And
that kid.
he's
These comms are gonna make me fuck.
he asked for people to come back and watch the bomb as opposed to maybe take these 1v1s as they were separated. Mark was in their spawn. He was in middle. Nikki was in B site. So ask them to just come together and not risk throwing that round.
Fucking explode
Perfect.
in the pants.
I put the one
Okay,
mine
so they're up
close to
4-2
the
on defense. And I would argue that, especially in this
Okay.
iteration of Storm Chaser, there's been a bunch of changes now with the walls. But
Let's
in
hit
this
it,
iteration, it was
let's hit A, yeah,
definitely
You
please.
wanna clear,
attacker,
you wanna clear A and then just play back
attacker
so we can
focused. So the
avoid
fact that they go up on
Clear A.
defense is
What
good.
we can do
Melee,
is
melee.
Yeah.
I'm yapping right now
yeah.
again, so let me back it
Let's
up.
hit
I
it,
want to hear
uh,
what their strategy is for their pistol.
I put the one mine too close, so when you shot that one close together. Unfortunate.
All
That
good.
mine's where-
let's hit it. Let's hit A. Yeah.
Do you
This
want to clear? Do you want to clear A and then just play back so we can avoid scans?
clear A. What we can
Shot
do
it to
is
melee, melee's
Yeah.
fucking-
yeah. Let's plant so we can see if we're step up. Yeah. Come
Yeah,
come
I'm
in.
gonna-
Come in.
yeah,
Everyone come in.
I'll plant by step
Okay.
up.
Once
Okay, so it sounds like Skeletos and Butch are kind of riffing off each other to figure out their game plan, which is good. You need a person who is able to supplement your IGL, because sometimes as an IGL, I've been in that situation where you're facing a team where nothing seems to be working, and you just go, anybody got any ideas? So having someone actually have some other ideas, I mean, not that they're in that situation here, but just having someone to be able to talk about ideas with and how they want to approach a certain round and have a different, thought process, as long as you guys can work together and not actually butting heads, that's always a good thing. And it sounds like Butch and Skeletos have that. So we're talking about pushing A. Let's see how this goes.
you guys get closer, I'm gonna recon for step up. Okay. Go go
Does-
go go
he
go.
delays his nade, so
Okay.
wait 10 seconds.
Oh, they reconned. I didn't get
Ooh.
him though.
Wait, what's
Mid,
What's
mid,
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 mid.
mid.
Reconning mid.
Watch mid, watch mid.
He's like right here mid. He's like right here mid.
Oh,
He's
okay.
right mid.
Can we hit the A side? Can we hit the A side or? Okay, good pick. Good pick.
Nice.
Okay. This is another one of these things where it ends up working out for them. So it's hard to critique here, but that was a really bad recon. So the opponent throws a recon early A. It doesn't scan anyone. This is a IGL's wet dream. They go, okay, they don't think we're A. They're probably rotating resources over to B, or at least kind of leaning towards B. So once that recon's gone, you can hard hit A and, maybe have one person of resistance. Well, they heard that someone was coming mid. So they're all stacked A. That person mid doesn't think that anyone's A. So he's likely going to B. If you just slow push A up to the point where you can just explode, you're probably in a good position. But okay, let's say that they don't want to do that because that person's pushing mid and they can maybe get a free kill. Well, Skeletos throwing the scan there just lets that person know that they're right there. It lets that person know that they know he's coming. And it wastes a very valuable gadget, especially on a retake. If you let that person go and you can throw that recon early to, so you're already up a recon. You throw that recon onto site. Now it's a 1-to-1 recon. And if the opponent tries to retake site after you're in post plant, they throw a smoke. and recon, you just counter recon and it's just completely nullified. You have post plant. It's perfect. So he's up a recon and elects to throw it there with not a lot of value. So it ends up working for him because they end up, even though he didn't get anyone on the scan, they push mid together and they get that kill. But they actually could have just pushed mid together anyway and gotten that kill without throwing the recon. So, you know, it's things like that. Saving your recons where it doesn't seem like a big deal here because they end up getting the kill, but it's such a valuable resource that if you can save your recons for, you know, taking a site, that's what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to put you ahead and win rounds that maybe you wouldn't have won before. It's utility management.
What the hell?
They're gonna pinch off of that. Let's go. Let's go.
It seems like I'm making a big deal out of something so small, but it is actually like
Reckoning step up.
incredibly important. Gadgets are what makes this game different from just a regular tac shooter where
They
you just
recon.
duke
One's
it out.
crossing, pushing the site,
I didn't mark the
Already on it. He's already on bomb.
I got him, dead,
It's the
dead,
kill
dead.
for the smoke. That is clutch.
Impulsing on me. I have no more bullets. He's cracked.
one short.
Right here.
Coming back short.
Last is
Short. Oh, Nikki, you terrified the fuck out of me.
Okay,
Oh my god.
so another thing is their post plant here. Let's go back, all right, let's go back here. You guys can see you have HBT here on falls. You have Mark here on step up, and Nikki kind of pushed up, step up towards flats. And then Skeletos is on A short. It's a 4v4. So, in an ideal world, when you have 4 people alive, you want crossfire positions. So Skeletos is here, holding A short. You have someone here, you have someone here, and then you have someone here. So the problem is as you pinch in a 4v4, you don't have any support on one of these players. So let's say they start pushing palms towards flats, and Skeletos comes out this way to support Nikki in the forward position. Well, if an opponent comes from the flank, then it's HPT alone. If there's multiple opponents coming the flank and Skeletos goes to support HPT, then Nikki is left alone. And Mark is just kind of caught in no man's land because he can't really wide swing to support here, and it would take him, you know, doubling up here is going to be great because then you're leaving Nikki. So like, it's just the way they have this diamond set up isn't ideal. I mean, it ends up working out for them. But if you can actually move Skeletos to this position, let me actually erase this quick. So if you can move Skeletos to this position, Nikki's playing here, Mark's playing here, then HBT's playing here. It allows HBT to swing in this particular instance, but in a lot of instances where if this area gets smoked, people might push short. So you have the crossfire from step up, and in this case, they impulsed over. Well, Skeletos is caught by himself with no way to get any support. If HBT is here watching the flank, he's able to support the A push, and you know it's just a better mesh of how the team can move to support people to always make sure you have at least 2 people together for crossfire support. So it's a slight way they can improve their post plant. And sometimes, you know, I'm sitting here looking at it from a video perspective. When you're in the moment, sometimes it's hard to micromanage that stuff. And especially like if one person dies in a certain area, you're kind of left out. It's hard to make that adjustment mid-round to have someone cross over to help you short. So again, this is just kind of a generalized way to talk about how you should have a post plant set up on A if you have 4 people. Not just A on Storm Chaser, but in a lot of maps. Make sure you have crossfires together and you're able to support teammates, especially in a pistol round when it's very important.
I didn't mark the
Already on it. He's
But,
already on
I mean, we've already seen how this round plays out.
I got him, dead,
That
dead.
smoke kill was great, very clutch, because they were
Impulsing on me.
defusing.
I have no more
This
bullets.
is where, like, you know,
He's
no
cracked,
one's
he's
able, if that person's short, that's
Coming back short,
a
coming back
free
short.
kill, and you have
Short,
2
short, short.
people still alive.
Oh, Nikki, you terrified the fuck out of me. Oh my
But
god.
I know.
they end up winning 5-2, and they are completely in the driver's seat now. This is an attacker-sided map. They're up on rounds. They win pistol rounds. So the opposing team's probably going to have to eco. And, you know, if you play it right, you're up 6-2. It's their game to lose.
I was gonna throw the impulse off on
Okay.
the bomb if we couldn't kill him.
Can we double bubble B?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's a
Wait,
double
wait,
down.
H, impulse us.
Impulse us?
Yes, trust.
what-
This shit works.
what do I do?
Pulse on my pink mark, and then the rest of us fly. Here, there you go. See you later.
Okay.
Reconning site.
Yep.
It's a little bit to the left. Clear closer. Right.
I'm like behind because
Planning for
Okay, so they just have sight for free. I'm assuming the opposing team did a gamble stack.
looking out behind us.
someone come watch.
So
Never
it's
mind.
it's
Okay.
unless you completely oh
Kind of reconning.
Behind
I'm
us,
stuck.
behind us. He's here.
Pod,
Yeah.
pod.
Yeah, he's hit like 100.
wow.
We're getting out. We're playing heavy.
This I remember seeing when I was watching this game.
On the box.
Oh my
One more.
goodness,
Good fucking shit.
Nicely done. I mean, a
Bet
little
your
bit
money
closer than it
50
probably
cents.
should have been,
Oh
but
my god, I could
I
not
mean, that's just sometimes you just have really good individual plays from someone, and that in this particular instance, it was Skeletos. He was stuck in that corner. I thought for sure he would maybe die if he decided to cross out, but and if he would have stayed in that corner, he also might have died. But at least there would have maybe been some team crossfire. But instead, the person that could have killed him went over the wall, and then in the last second, the other opponent pushed up ramp and got hit by the scans. He was able to kill him through the smoke. Then he saw a person on scan last second in pond, just shoots through the smoke, gets the headshot, kills him. And then at that point, they're in such a power position. The one critique I would have is Skeletos is like he's getting kind of, I don't know what word to use, spastic. I mean, it sounds very negative, but like he's kind of like flicking all over the place looking for stuff. At a certain point, once you have that those 2 kills and you're in pond, just sit close to pond wall and let your teammates do crossfires. You have someone close to head glitch. They shoot as they come in. You're able to just hold that angle, kind of soft swing, and shoot people instead of doing this like flicking around trying to get cover and stuff. Like if you're running out of bullets, swap a gun. You just killed a person over there. Like there's a whole bunch of other situations that allow you to stay more calm in that situation. This particular case, very well played. He gets the follow-up kills. He gets 4K on the round. You know, fantastic stuff. And now they're up 6-2. Again, it is their game to lose at this point. There's just
Wait, I have
it
this
just
if
seems so
anybody
unlikely that
wants
they lose it.
I'll take it.
A little bit of this.
Do you want to do like an A split?
Yeah. Let's put it A. Let's have yo H. You wanna play back? Mark, you wanna play back with H? You guys are gonna be lurking up once we take the site.
I'm gonna wait 10 seconds.
Okay.
in case
Doing it
you
right?
guys made
Yeah.
more
Thing.
scans.
Yeah.
I like it. I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
calling out individual
Yeah,
players,
Sam.
letting them know their
Maybe
particular
recon.
roles, but doesn't really say like lurking up where. Do you want them to lurk up
They might be
halls? Do you want them
Yeah, I'm
to
holding. I'm just holding.
Maybe
lurk
right
by like check in and maybe get
Yeah.
people
They
crossing
might
from
be.
patio? Like a little bit more
You guys wanna start going
specificity
up
there, but
walking
Yeah.
down this way.
I'm going kind of slow. Just
Okay.
waiting for y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna recon now. I'm reconning step up.
Do you want to step up?
Yeah, recon step up.
He's like right here now.
Get short,
okay, they
get
get the
short.
early scan.
Yeah. One's cubby too. I'm
Cubby.
double bubbing and getting bombed.
Oh, 2 here, 2 lobby, 2 lobby.
Uh-oh.
Yikes, that is rough.
Another one's coming. There's.
Like,
I think there might be 2 behind you.
There
I'm
was
pretty
two
sure.
upstate.
Okay.
This is not looking
that
great
one
for
is
them,
80. The-
but that recon
okay,
gets
good
him
shit.
the smoke. That is good.
They broke
Butch
mine.
gets one.
Both lines.
Flashing
I'm holding,
side.
I'm holding.
Okay, so
Last
they
one
managed to
off.
convert. The opposing team
GG's.
does a lot of solo
Fuck you, yo,
pushes.
legend.
You can't always count on that. I mean, they had multiple people on flank. The opposing team just kind of pushes in one by one. They're able to take, win their ones, take fights together. Like that instance where Skeletos and Nikki were fighting that person in step up. I mean, just a really well played.
Like, it's so annoying.
And they end up winning this game. So, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of great things to take from this gameplay. One, Movie Time has really good communication. Really, they're way ahead of a lot of teams in terms of how they want to approach team fights. Talking about what gadgets they have and their gadget usage. Just calming throughout the round. Skeletor is doing a great job as an IGL, kind of micromanaging mid-round, which is something that a lot of IGLs can't quite do in early stages, so that's great. The things that they could really work on are post-plant positions, utility usage, specifically the recons. I didn't see any other players, but I mean, like, even, let's say, HBT's impulse into pond that one round, like, it ended up working, but in an ideal world, you impulse back to your team and you retake together. Little things like that. But overall, I mean, this was a very strong performance. 7-2. There's not a whole lot. I mean, you can learn a lot more from losses in closer games, but there's still plenty, hopefully, that they can take from this and implement in their gameplay moving forward. So that was the first VoD review for the VoD Room. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to get more nuance or anything that you guys want to see moving forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.